Let's take a little trip. Today, we're going to explore what community banking is all about. We're going to talk about how Oconee State Bank and our community partner together. We're going to talk about where we've been, talk about where we are today, but perhaps most importantly, where we're going.
Back in 1960, Oconee County was much different than what it is now. Still much rural agricultural farmland, no major subdivisions, a lot of the roads unpaved, no traffic lights downtown Watkinsville, and there was no bank. Several banks had failed in the early 1900s in the Great Depression, so there was a little hesitation of starting another bank. But some of the citizens, and especially Mr. Hardigree and the business leaders, were tired of having to commute to and from Athens for their banking needs. It started in February the 1st, 1960, on Main Street, at the corner of Main Street and Court Street, right next to the courthouse.
1960 is when we first opened our doors, and a really cool fact that's always resonated with me is that we opened our doors in what is now the Welcome Center in downtown Watkinsville. So the place that today welcomes visitors and our community, gives our community the opportunity to interact, is where we first opened our doors 60 years ago.
Well, I think you have to start with Oconee being a unique and a special community. And 60 years ago, one of the things that was holding the community back was we didn't have a bank that was owned within our own community. So in order for us to begin to build the businesses, the homes, all the assets that make a great community, we needed a community-owned bank. And that's when a group of shareholders and community leaders came together and decided, hey, let's see what we can do to bring that back. So it makes sense over the past 60 years that the bank really has grounded itself into the community, focused carefully on the needs of Oconee County, but now extending that really unique approach that so many people love, not just about our bank, but about our community to some other areas, including Athens, Gwinnett, and beyond, just like a lot of other businesses in Oconee County.
The way that you stay in a community for 60 years is that you embed yourself in the lifeline of everything that that community does. So you partner with different organizations and you serve people in ways that they can't even imagine. I see that being done on the front line, in our retail center, and also on the back line in our back office, and how people are just striving to do better, to do more, and to serve with volunteer opportunities that you just don't see in other organizations now.
ESP has a long-standing history with Oconee State Bank. I believe Martha, our founder, started with Oconee State Bank over 35 years ago and started ESP's first checking account. Oconee State Bank is a part of ESP's history. And since then, I have gotten to know the leadership, we've gotten involved from a community perspective, and I've really been captivated by their remarkable culture, their people, the energy, and really how different they're thinking about banking and banking relationships. And so as we've nurtured that relationship between OSB and with ESP, volunteering and contributing in our community together, I have learned more and more about Oconee State Bank and had the opportunity to join the board just a little over a year ago.
You know, I think first and foremost, Oconee State Bank cares about the individual, and so they're a partner in the community and very visible in the community. I know they've got a remarkable series that they focused on over the years, and you really see that each and every day as you interact with the various individuals that lead the bank. Really what they try to do with us, and we've had great conversations, is coming to us and talking about how can we better serve our school system? What do you need? And so we've had great conversations and had wonderful things come out of those conversations.
We're in a place of transition and growth. So we see ourselves extending throughout Georgia as being the most remarkable bank in Georgia. You do that by really defining and redefining yourself.
I think that customers in particular, when you're looking for a bank, you want to find an institution that can solve your problems. So you want to have your financial problems solved, but people also want to connect with an institution and a bank that has focus and that, you know, has the same interests that they have.
Well, I think one thing that we appreciate about Oconee is the idea of building a community. And so I know that that's been one of their values from the very beginning as I've learned more about them and their organization. And I know that building community is a priority to them. And we are in the business of building community, partnering with communities. in being able to help communities to thrive. And that's what we both are passionate about doing, so it just worked really nicely.
Oconee State Bank's always been obviously affiliated with the entire community, but the heart and soul of Oconee County is the county seat in Watkinsville, and so I think it's really great that the bank is doubling down on its commitment to Watkinsville, but in a really unique way, as technology changes, as everything else changes, that new headquarters is going to give us the opportunity to be more efficient, to create new opportunities, recruit great team members, but also to expand our reach into other places.
It's so remarkable to watch the leadership at Oconee State Bank, from the board to Neil to the leadership staff, and the focus is to be Georgia's most remarkable bank, and everyone is working together on that. So when we pick our people, our leadership is focused on the right people in the right places at the right time.
In some ways it feels like it's just beginning, even though it's been several years. But I'm looking forward to the partnership deepening as we grow, as they continue to grow, and that we can hopefully grow together and continue to be a part of the communities that we're in and serve them well.
What are people craving? They're coming to communities like Oconee County, they're coming to communities in rural Georgia looking for a place where there's comfort. And I think part of that comfort is there's a realness to this community, there's a realness to this bank, and a realness in the opportunity. What does that mean? It doesn't mean they're not going to want the convenience or the great thing of being able to just hop on your phone and do a transaction. We've got to be ready, we've got to be able to do that. But when it comes to the big decisions in people's lives, those decisions that'll change the way that they operate their business, I think real people, strategic thinkers, people with a heart, people who are grounded in values, people who are grounded in telling the truth in everything that they do, even if it's hard news, that's where people are going to go. They're not interested in being sold something, they're interested in a relationship in their business, and I think that's why Oconee State Bank's got such a bright future.
I feel like the future is bright. It is limitless. And I'm glad that I'm a part of a community bank that wants to serve its community and to go out beyond the limits that have been set for community banks in the past, and to see a future that is bright, that is bold, that is daring, and that is remarkable.
We are proud to be part of the fabric of Oconee County. We will always remain committed to our vision, mission, and our values. We will remain rooted right here in Oconee County. And as we expand outside of our geographic footprint, we will always be a community bank built to serve communities.